Hey guys, it is me, Coach Mel with Grow Better Coach. This is the Create Your Path podcast. Typically, it's supposed to be Saturdays at 4. We had a little traveling difficulties that I'm not going to say what they are because they were my fault. So I'm a little bit later. Sorry about that. Since my huge crowd of nobody is probably waiting for me. But I do want to keep it consistent just in case one day I do get a crowd. Hey, you know how that is. This is my logo that I'm going to put up that it's the little emblem on my podcast, the Create Your Path, because with Grow Better, you do get to create your path. This is where you get to really decide what you want to do, what choices you want to make, and how to make your life into more of what your desire is. Now, so I did my notes a little bit different this time. So I'm going to try to find those if I can remember. Oh, yeah. I did them through what is a Rocketbook Fusion. With this, you can write on it, and then it has an app that you scan it, and you put it into the, you scan it, and it uploads to whatever destination you want it to upload to. I have it uploading to my Google Drive. So let me find my Google Drive. Let's see here. Wait, I think yes, there it is. All right. And the thing is, I can write it out in my handwriting in just like scribbles, because that's what my handwriting looks like. And you can get it to open it up like in a Microsoft document. Now with mine, it doesn't pick up everything the way it should because my handwriting is not the best. So today I kind of want to talk about feelings not being facts. Now you can find more about me on my website, www.growbettercoach.com, or email me gbwithcoachmel@gmail.com. I changed my email address. You can find out more about me and what I do. I'm a certified life empowerment coach. I am in recovery 8.5 years. I've done mental health therapy. I've done a lot of things to kind of work on myself. Plus, I've gone through the education to become certified as a life coach and taken other courses to kind of help me help other people, because that's what I really want to do, is help other people. I feel like one of the main things that we can do in order to better ourselves and better our lives is we have to set goals and achieve goals. Starting in May, I am having an 8-week group session, virtually group sessions that probably are going to be recorded, so you don't have to be at the session to watch it. It's just going to be the basics. It's going to be some mindfulness mindfulness exercises, and then some different just step-by-step on setting goals in a specific way that a lot of people probably know. But hopefully this breaking it down and practicing will let everybody know that it's a lot easier than what we all make it out to be. Because it really is easy. It's easy to set goals. It's easy to set goals. It's easy to achieve goals. And if you don't believe me, come to the group sessions. Come to the virtual group sessions. Sign in. Go to my webpage. Sign up is free. The first 6 weeks will be virtual. The last 2 weeks, you're doing it on your own, but you do have the opportunity to call me during regular business hours that I will set specifically for the goals group sessions. Now, one thing this been on me this week was, last week was feelings are not facts. This week is more of the false beliefs. When I worked at a rehab facility, they had the 4 false beliefs, and it was basically what people believe about themselves and what God says about themselves. So you can do it as that, or you can do it as other ways of having false beliefs. I think we all have different things that we believe about ourselves. Richard the other day said a saying, and it kind of goes along with what I've been thinking, was he said, you raise a strong son versus repair a broken man. I think that a lot of people as children or growing up in school or wherever it was, got some stuff put in our heads that we're not good enough or things like this. And that can get us caught up. We can get caught up in a lot of things. Right now, I want us to do a little mental kind of exercise thing. Okay, so think about something. Do a little quick body scan and think about some painful area. Everything about it. Like, okay, for instance, I have neck pain over on this side. And sometimes it's over here, but for the most part, it's on this side. It's muscle spasms. It's like neuralgia. There's some spasm shoots up my head, goes down my arm. A lot of times there's like this constant irritating, dull ache right in this whole section right there and in my jaws, and numbing and itchy, tingly kind of down my arm. It aggravates me so bad. And it's like yesterday, I felt like I was almost in tears dealing with it. But if I'm focusing on that and thinking about every aspect of it, thinking about the ache right and numbness right here and I want to say agonizing, because it is, but it's like a dull agonizing, which, if that makes sense. When I focus on it, it blows it up. Doesn't make my pain any worse. It doesn't make my pain any better. Makes me more fully aware about everything about it. So, you know where you have pain. We're going to just focus on the physical pain or focus on some kind of physical feeling. Something. All of your attention. Take a couple of minutes. What does it feel like? Where is it? Is it dull, achy? Is it pain, or is it just discomfort? Put all of your mental focus on the ailment. Everything about it. Okay. Now, think about how magnified it is. And then we're going to do a little mindfulness exercise. Okay. Take a deep breath. And put all of your attention focusing on the air going into your mouth, nose, throat, down into your chest, and into your lifting up around your lungs. Okay, so now that you think about that, let me turn my phone down just in case somebody calls me, since even though nobody ever really does, now they will. So think about that pain. Think about that discomfort, right? And then now you're thinking about the breathing coming in. Okay. And we're going to do this little exercise. Now, if you're driving or something, please don't close your eyes to do it during any of this time. So it's really like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not going to go through all these, but you will get the basic idea. Okay. Look around at 3 things that you see. All right, right now, try to think of something, try to look at things that aren't as evident. Maybe there's a piece of lint on the floor, and you look at it, and you look about what size it is. You look at the different, how it looks. Is it in a ball? Is it stretched out? Describe it mentally. 3 things. And then you see a shirt. Okay, I'm looking at a shirt right now. I look at the color of the shirt. It's kind of like a mauve. It's got some wrinkles down at the bottom. The edges of it looks like, you know how cut off jeans, the little frail. Anyway, that's not the word I'm looking for. But I think you all know what I'm talking about. But describe it in your own words. It doesn't matter if you have the right words. Describe it in your own words. So you're looking at 3 things Spend the time, look at 3 things, and feel 2 things outside of yourself, not internal, whether it's the air conditioner, whether it's the rain, whether it's the heat, whether it's a cat, whether it's the desk in front of you or the chair that you're sitting in, whatever it is, feel those 2 things, describing everything about it, and smell. I don't know what kind of smell you might have in your house. You may have a candle lit. There may be an incense. You might be driving down the road, roll down the window, smell the rain. A smell. You may smoke cigarettes. You're smelling that. Whatever it is. So look around at 3 things, feel 2 things, and smell 1. Okay. Think about those. Okay. Breathe in. Okay. That was quick. The exercise really is a lot longer than that. But during that time that your focus was on something, other stuff other than your pain did not go away, but it seemed as if it was minimized, because it was. It was minimized because you weren't focused on it. This exercise shows us the power of your mind and how retraining our focus can impact so much. But get this does not only apply to physical pain. All right, this could be mental, emotional, spiritual, or whichever of those, all of the above, whatever pain you have. It gives us a chance to do something to help remove the source of the pain. Because get this, if I'm not focused on my pain, then I have time to give my mind a break to work on other ways to make it better. All right. Like physical pain is a little more difficult, but when it comes to the emotional and spiritual pain, those are easier to rid yourself of than some sources of physical pain. And it varies no matter where, because sources of pain, regardless of it's physical, emotional, or anything, they vary. So the pain in my neck that I described is constant. If I'm focusing on it, then it can reduce my progress for the day. It can reduce any exercise I want to get. It can hinder everything. And I know that if I am exercising, if I am working it and stretching it, then it can be relieved. If I'm not focused on my pain, I'm able to focus on other things to better myself, to give me a chance to feel better holistically. Okay. If I'm focused on my business, focused on Grow Better, or on my little dog that's playing with the ball right now. She's so cute. No, you don't get the cat food. Oh, she already got it. Oops. If I'm focused on doing Grow Better, building my business, and things like that, it can help me not feel bad in other ways. If I'm focused on my pain or other situations that are going on with me all day, then it keeps me from growing. The main thing that helps is practicing mindfulness regularly, even when it isn't needed. Okay. I did group therapy for over 2 years. It was called dialectical behavioral therapy, a part of a CBT. And it was a rotating curriculum every 6 months. Every 6 months, they went over the same little section of curriculum. Same homework, same everything. Now, I practice it. Practicing and learning by repetition can really help. Because then when it comes down to it and something happens and you need to practice it, you're used to it. So for 2 years, I did this rotating curriculum and I learned some tools. I furthered my education in that area. It's made it easier for me to take my focus off of my pain. Last week, I talked about the anxiety, feeling like the walls were coming in and feeling like everything just, I wanted to run. But because I practiced these exercises and I utilized these tools when I didn't need them and I got used to them, then it was easier for me to go back into that. And it was easier for me to be able to just revert into that mindset. And it helps me take my focus off my pain or emotional or whatever issue I'm going through at the time. Having a mental health diagnosis makes life and thinking a lot more difficult. And remember, when you're refocusing, you're not removing the pain. So you're not removing the source of the pain. You're only taking away its power. Now, remember, when you're not focusing on your pain, you're not removing the source of your pain. You are only taking away the power of the pain. All right. So, for so long, I covered my internal pain with drugs and alcohol. Actually, I first started coping with it with other dishonest behavior. Stealing. I used to take the change from my mother, or little things from stores and stuff like that, just to get away with something, to get that little feeling of something. Being a chameleon, would try to fit in with anybody and everybody. And then I started drinking, which I started that kind of at a younger age, but I started drinking more heavily. And when I wouldn't have alcohol, since I had learned to cope with that, I started cutting. It just helped relieve some of the pain on the inside. I didn't know how to manage my emotions. I didn't know how to express emotions. I learned to cover them up. Instead of ignoring them and pushing them down, now I can refocus on new activities, tools, and thought processes to help me grow in ways. And I don't have the need or the desire to fall back into my old ways. Even just the little manipulative ones. One of the bits of info that helped me the most was learning that I'm not alone. You know, I think a lot of times we feel like what we're going through in our mind or in our body is unique to us. You know, but the best thing I could do was talk to somebody about it. I was seeing a counselor, and I talked to the counselor about it. I talked to the psychiatrist about it. Now, the counselor didn't really help, but when the psychiatrist told me, oh, basically, we have a name for this, it's this, and a lot of other people struggle with it too. Wow. It was such a relief. I wasn't some lunatic that was going to have to spend the rest of my life keeping everything held in to myself, wrapped up, not letting anybody in, because I was going to end up in a straitjacket. So when I found that out, what was going on wasn't crazy anymore. It was a new normal. And it took the power. So finding out I was not alone took the power away from my mental health issues. The power I gave them, because they have no power unless I give it to them. And knowing that nothing I've been through or nothing I will go through is unique to me. Not a mental health diagnosis, not a physical health diagnosis, none of that. It's just me. It's not only stamped on me. Not I'm all alone, like Eeyore, woe me, woe is me, whatever. Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I'm not alone in it. When I first got into recovery, when I got back into recovery this time, one of the things I realized was there are millions of people in recovery. There's not anything I go through, there's not only one or two people, but there's thousands of them that have thought the same things or said the same things or had the same stuff done to them. It's like that with everybody, though, regardless of whether you're in recovery or elsewhere. It's completely, you're part of a subgroup of people that have intrusive thoughts or major depressive disorder or Crohn's disease. No matter what you have going on, you're not alone. You're part of a subgroup that has been treated wrong or treated other people wrong. You're part of a group of people with those same things. You're not alone. Nobody is alone in any of it. A lot of times we get the feeling that we are, and our false beliefs are things we tell ourselves, but many times they come from stuff that's been told to us, whether it was teachers that told you were worthless or a family member, whether it was an abusive relationship, a job. There's things that showed you, that led you to believe you are not good enough. Now, the problem is we start believing and living these false beliefs. And many times they come from a place of emotion. And feelings aren't facts, like I talked about last week. You have to realize that what you're telling yourself is coming from an emotional state, and you don't have to you don't have to continue repeating. I knew those words sounded funny together. You don't have to continue repeating those things in your head over and over again. Like, if you grow up in a family that your dad is constantly telling you you're not good enough, or you have a neighbor who always treats you wrong, if you have teachers, especially early on, that make you feel like you'll never fit in, then eventually you start to not only believe it, but you accept it. You don't believe you are acceptable because of the false beliefs and the lies that you've told yourself. Now, you can't base your beliefs on other people's opinions. Even when their opinions become your own opinions of yourself, you still can't believe it. Stop playing that same little record over and over in your head. People say, they work. Affirmations work. Speaking good to yourself, it works. No, baby. I don't know what she just came in here with. Okay. No. But affirmations work. And it's not just going up and saying you're beautiful, you're accepted, you're smart. It's not just doing those things, which that's part of it. Sometimes those are a little harder to catch on to. When I talk about affirmations and practicing affirmations, don't tune me out just yet, because I have another way that I like to apply these. All right. Think about some of the statements you commonly say about yourself. Or, I know it can be hard for us to think about what we say about ourselves. Ask somebody that's close to you, what are some things that they hear you say about yourself? Do they regularly hear you call yourself fat or an idiot? Or, I can't believe I did that. Or, no, I'm not gonna try this. Like some common ones that I was thinking of earlier that I hear a lot is, I knew I was going to mess that up. Or, no, because I won't do it right. Or, I should just give up. Maybe they won't accept me. Not good enough. That shirt won't look good on me. Girl, I can't wear those pants in public. They won't like me if they know the real me. I can't let my personality out because, I'm too open, or I'm too talkative, or I'm too quiet. And where did you get this concept from? Now, can you pinpoint where you started believing that you were too quiet and that people wouldn't accept you as a quiet person? So you started feeling like you had to do something else to fit in, be a different person. Was it in school? Were you picked on for any specific reason? You're redheaded and everybody told you, picked on you because you were redheaded and you were the only redhead in the school and you got picked on. So then you just keep repeating over yourself that nobody likes you. You're not good enough. Okay. Was it a family member? Was it growing up as a little bitty kid? Was it you were in a relationship and the person that you were dating constantly talked down to you? Was it there? How long has this type of thinking been influencing your decisions? Now, false beliefs are a huge obstacle to reaching our goals. Now, and these internal barriers, these things that are blocking us, that we're telling ourselves, that we're believing of ourselves, they're worse than the external barriers in many cases. Like some other examples, more about our own expected response in situations. No, because I'll feel guilty if I don't offer them a ride. Or, when, I'm trying to think, when blah happens, I stress out. Or, baby, come here. Come here, baby. Come here, babes. Come here. Come here, baby. It's okay. Come here. Come on. This is my doggie who's crying because she wants to go outside and it's raining outside. So she really doesn't want to go outside. All right. So think of some other examples. Like, okay, when I'm under pressure, I stress out. When something happens, when it rains outside and I have to drive, I can't drive in the rain. I can't drive in the rain. When a lot of people are around, I freak out. I can't do social situations. They put us, these beliefs, these things we convince ourselves of, they put us in a mindset of feeling like, we're stuck. There's nothing good in us. There's nothing we can do to make this work. We're just stuck in this situation. Nothing at all. Y'all see Rocket Dog? Rocket Dog. You can also easily get stuck in these ways. And instead of feeling like it's like what's called a fixed mindset. You get stuck in the ways of thinking and believe that your growth is not possible. Some things that you hear a lot is, well, this is just how I am. I'm not going to change for them. Or this is just how I am. I can't change. They can't expect me to be nicer in situations. They can't expect me to come to social situations. They know I get anxious. That's just who I am. I don't care what they feel like. I don't care. I'm not going to change. And you don't need to change for somebody else, but changing for yourself is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We can't be in that fixed mindset though. If y'all get a chance, if anybody watches the TED Talks, and I put a link to this on my Facebook page. and my LinkedIn. It's a TED Talk by Eduardo Briceno. I'm not sure if that's how I pronounce the name, Briceno. It is called The Power of Belief Mindset and Success. Okay, so yeah, the link is on my Facebook page. Facebook is the @GrowBetterCoach. But you can find that. You can go to my website, growbettercoach.com, and the contact us, link to us thing with little blue F, Facebook on there. And I can give you a personal example. All right. In 2010 or 2011, I went from being full-time student in college, undergraduate, full-time student. I was working full-time at a recovery center for women in recovery from addiction. I was also living at and running the halfway house. So I was constantly working. That was my job too, because I had to make sure they were going and doing what they were supposed to be doing. I mean, it was kind of like a bunch of roommates, but I had to be responsible for them to a certain extent. Volunteering on Wednesday nights as a volunteer youth group leader. And other times they would have other events and stuff, and I would be at those. Also on Sundays, I was a Sunday school leader for young adults age. It was supposed to be like college and careers, but it was just random people, basically, that had no other real group to be a part of with Sunday school. Didn't fit in any of the other categories. So I was leading that. All right, so full-time student, work full-time, lived a job, Wednesday nights at church and some other times, leading a small group on Sundays. All of this was a lot. Well, all of a sudden, some situations changed, and I got an opportunity to change my workload, my responsibility load. I reduced them. I needed to reduce them. And I moved into a little duplex, and I worked full-time, and I was going to school full-time. Okay, so that knocked out like a chunk of responsibilities. Doesn't seem like that many, but it was. I took a break from the youth. Then I trickled off to not doing the Sunday school leader. Somebody else took that over. You know, I wasn't at the halfway house living, so I didn't have that responsibility and accountability. And I had the mindset of believing that what I was doing, all those activities, were really who I was. I found my self-worth in my being and what all I did. Once my plate wasn't as full, I saw other stuff to fill it. New friendships. Like, okay, so my neighbors in the duplex, great people. I got to know them a little bit. Well, they drank and stuff, and I was in recovery, but I wasn't really drinking, but I eventually started anyway. And I reverted to some of the old ways, the old people, places, and things. Ended up talking to some old friends of mine from where I lived before, and just little things. Slip back into some old negative behaviors. I was on a path that I took because of the false beliefs that I wasn't able to be accepted or worthy if I wasn't filling a role. Like, I didn't feel like I was acceptable if I didn't have a specific role that I was filling and it was fulfilling. And the role is really what I felt was making me who I was. I never gotten a chance to really get into myself, my worth, what I had to offer. I didn't set boundaries. I didn't adapt to having a growth mindset. The path I was on led to a lot of negative actions and consequences. In 2012, I decided I wanted to get clean again. After I got clean, I became somewhat productive. I attended meetings, the NA meetings, regularly. Went to church some. I did get a job at a Dollar General. I ended up going back to school. I did get my bachelor's. I wasn't working at Dollar General anymore. I did get another job working some. Because of some mental health struggles, I ended up leaving that job. I mailed, and after I graduated and got my bachelor's in Christian ministries, I mailed and emailed my resume to so many places. I never got a response. So I had those couple of jobs and everything was fine. But then at one point, my mental health started to take over. My depression, all those things started to really take over everything. And I felt like I was having somewhat of a breakdown. I was stuck. I didn't feel like anything would make any difference. I did seek therapy, medication management. Over a period of me seeking mental health and addiction help, I learned a lot of tools to cope. I also learned so much more about myself. I still didn't foresee anything special ahead of me, primarily because of the repeated false beliefs recorded in my head. Well, fortunately, I had taken some time to kind of get to know who I was, to learn to say no, to set some boundaries, to feel like, I was somebody important, I was acceptable, I was lovable. I had that. I still didn't feel like I was going anywhere in life. I was completely content with not doing anything. But then God put somebody in my life, and Richard just kind of struck the match. He always accepted me for exactly who I was. So when he mentioned me going to school to be a medical assistant, I knew he truly knew that I could do it. He helped flip my mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Helped me see the importance of setting goals and believing in myself. And it's just little things. It wasn't like this huge, I had to wake up one morning and be on top of the world and be up at this level way up here. I could take little steps. And that was the first time I realized that, you know what, I can do this. Um so it was a correlation of events. It was getting clean, first and foremost, getting to know myself, feeling comfortable with myself, doing whatever I had to do, and then finding who God wanted to speak some life into me and for me to go forward. You have choices, you have the chance. Believe in yourself, strive to reach your potential, not the potential that other people want you to have. You've got to start really reaching your potential. Switch up some false beliefs that you have. Like just switch them up. Okay, so this is one of the practices we did. All right, so instead of I'm a bad person, you know what? I've done some crappy stuff, but I'm a good person. And even though the world doesn't have to bow down to me, the world doesn't owe me anything. I'm a good person and I do good things. Instead of me telling myself, ooh, if I go into that situation, I'm going to panic. I used to not like to go to places when the girls from the rehab that I was working at went because it was too many people and too much activity. And I really didn't know myself. It was before I started really working on myself. It was before I messed up and then got clean again. I was not comfortable with them because I wasn't comfortable with me. That's where I have to remind myself that even though I wasn't comfortable with me, I could still enjoy myself and I always had fun. But that was me telling myself that false belief that I wasn't going to enjoy myself. They weren't going to like me. I wasn't going to be accepted because I wasn't accepting myself. But I was playing that over and over again in my head. And now, instead of playing that over and over again in my head, a social situation, I have tools. I can focus on something else. I can think about something else. If I need to go step away, I can. I have resources. I have outlets. This situation is not going to take over. A social situation for me, it's okay. If I don't want to go, I don't have to. If I feel like I need to go, even though it's not like a necessity, but I kind of need to go, I can go. I make sure I have my vehicle. I can leave when I get ready to. My phone is charged in case I need to just go zone out into a game or something for a little bit, or do a mindfulness exercise, listen to some music, make a phone call. I have options. I'm not stuck in those situations. Okay. Instead of I'm weak, I'm not weak. I'm not a weak person. I'm a strong person. I've come a long way. I've been through a lot of stuff. So you take your false belief and you don't just say the opposite, because the opposite might not mean anything to you. Instead of I'm unacceptable to I'm acceptable. You might not really believe that in your head. I'm unacceptable. Richard accepts me for exactly who I am. That's true. Those are the affirmations that you can tell yourself they're true. You know they're true. Okay, so I'm acceptable. That's true. But do I believe it? Richard accepts me. That's true. I believe it with everything in me. God accepts me. I believe it with everything in me. Instead of not smart. Okay, I might not believe I'm smart, but I have the ability to learn. I've got a bachelor's. There's positive things you can say about yourself that counteract those false beliefs that you've been repeating over and over, that were put into your mind somewhere along the way. You've just repeated them, lived by them, learned them, accept them as truth, and now you have a chance to contradict those with the truth. That's what setting goals is all about. That's what our sessions with setting goals is going to be all about. It's being mindful. It's doing an exercise to put yourself right there where you are. It's giving yourself the chance to set these goals for you and to see your progress. It's giving you a chance to see where you want to be, the ideal situation in 5 years, and then watch yourself start on the path to get to it. So go to the website, www.growbettercoach.com, fill out to go to the free sessions or whatever. Send me a message, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Your life. But don't believe those false beliefs. Don't believe those things that you've played and recorded in your head. A psychologist that I know says, don't make me come up there to his brain. It's like him telling his brain, don't make me come up there, because we are our own worst enemy. We'll play those recorded tapes from the past over and over, and we'll live by them. That is not your truth. Live your truth. My truth is I have a bachelor's. I'm a medical assistant. I have a good job. I have a job that's helping me with my long-term goals. I'm about to start a master's program for a master's in social work. I have a fiance that accepts me and loves me. Animals love me. I have friends that really do accept me and care for me and are here for me if I need them. Those are some truths. And if I need to get through the day, those are enough to get me through a day. There's a lot more that I can think of. I'd have to put some thought in. I'm good. Be the good in the world. I'm good. I help others. I've done good things for other people. It doesn't make me who I am, but I didn't have to do them. So find your truth. Believe your truth. Contradict those false beliefs you've been believing. Take your time to do it. Send me a message. I'll be happy to talk to anybody. I'm not a guru. Never claimed to be. But I might be able to help. If I can't, I'll tell you. If I can, then maybe we can get somewhere. So check out the website, growbettercoach.com. Send me an email, gbwithcoachmel@gmail. And I hope everyone has an amazing evening. If it's raining where you are like it is here, please be careful if you're out on the roads. All right. Enjoy your day.